Hello everyone, I'm back again for another video, and today I want to introduce you guys to a game called Keyforge, which I recently got into, very recently. It was released like a month ago, but I found out like just a few days ago, and I bought 3 decks because they're cheap. And the thing about Keyforge is that you don't build your own decks. I guess that's one of the merits of the game. So yeah, I just wanted to update you guys on what I was doing, and this was one of them. I just moved place, so I don't have a table, and I'm recording on the floor, but that's fine. So the downside is, I guess, the good side also is that you don't build your deck, and everyone just buys, I guess, depending on how many decks you want to buy. I bought 3. These 3 decks are actually pretty nice. However, I guess I'll just show you guys, this is like a review on my own decks. So each deck has like their own, this is like a card, I guess a profile. It's also in the card back, but currently I'm having them on sleeves. I have all 3 decks on double sleeves, which I normally do for my all my decks that I use. So I bought 3 decks because first I bought 2, was these 2, and then I got this one later. So I bought 2. One was to introduce my friend to the game, so we can have 2 decks to play. And yeah, so first of all, I guess I'll show you one of my, I think, weaker deck, but it's not weaker in a true sense because it can fight quite fairly with this deck, but this deck really just is really bad for this. So there are like synergies between different decks, I guess. Is that a right word? Or like one deck could be very strong against another deck and vice versa. So it's quite a balanced game, I think, in a way. But there have been broken combos that people were talking about online that I've heard. So yeah, so each deck has their own like character. I'm not sure how many different characters there are, but there are colors and like different traits, and these are like, it's like in the words for Vanguard, they're like clans. I don't remember what they're called. They're called houses, right? I remember now. So I guess I'll start with this one, which is, I think, relatively weaker in comparison to the other 2, because this deck lacks creatures, which is quite important for the cards in this deck, ironically. I don't know if I'm using that word correctly, but there we go. So the house for this deck called JD Hexaforce of the Galvanic Wilderness. Yeah, some deck has some crazy names. So each deck is actually made randomly, not quite randomly, it's like it has an algorithm generated deck. So this deck has a house Sanctum, Mars, and Untamed. It's shown here, and the name is up here. So first of all, there are artifacts. I've actually arranged my deck based on house and card types. So there are artifacts. These are artifacts. You play them down like creature or monster, and you can use their effects. So this one can steal a resource, or resources are used to win the game. You don't really beat your opponent by destroying their monsters or hitting your life, because there's no life in this game. So this card is pretty nice actually. But World Tree is okay. It returns a creature from my discard pile to the top of the deck. Basically, it prepares you for the next turn. I guess you can look up the rules and stuff if you're interested. in the game. So these are artifacts. They are like constant abilities that you can use per turn, I guess. And these are actions. These are like spell cards or instance cards. So this is full moon. For the remainder of the turn, gain 1 resource each time you play a creature. I believe these are called ambers, yeah. So the problem is, I have this card, but the thing about no, this is not artifact. This is called Keyforge, right? The thing about Keyforge is, so if you can see here, there's 4 untamed. You can see here, these are untamed creatures here, and each turn you have to declare a house, and you can only play and use cards of that house. And with this card, the maximum I can get is 4 per turn, basically, which is not good at all. So very bad. It's not really a bad card. It's a good card, but it's not the best for this deck. Mimicry, I quite like this card. It takes one of your opponent's action card in the discard pile and basically copies it. And then we have upgrades. Upgrades are like attachment or equip cards. It gives skirmish when it attacks. It doesn't take damage, because when an attack happens, the attacking creature takes damage as well as the defending creature. These are actions again. And these are cards that gives you the amber when you play them. This one heals up to 3 damage, and if you heal 3 damage, you gain 1 amber. This one just straight up returns a creature to the hand. And this one, for the remainder of the turn, up to 2 creatures gain skirmish and then fight with those creatures. This one allows you to use other house creatures to fight, which is good. But the lack of creatures in this deck makes it quite difficult to use it. Yeah. Dew Fairy, very nice card. Reap, gain an amber. So each time you reap, you gain an amber, and this one gives you an additional amber. Each turn you can choose to reap or attack with the creature, basically. And this one, so how you win the game is you have to make keys. That's why the game is called Keyforge. And each key costs 6 normally, but this one increases the key to 7, basically, which is nice. Snufflegator, it's a basic creature that has skirmish, basically. And then we go on to Mars. Oh, I've not sorted Mars quite too well. Let me fix that right now. There we go. So I'll start with upgrade. I don't like this card. Yeah. This creature gains destroyed. You may put this creature into the owner's archive. So the problem with this is that in this game there are priorities checks and ability, what's it called? Like, who gets the choice to do the ability, and since this is an May ability, which is conditional, it means the active player gets to choose if this ability activates. So if you put it on one of your creatures and it's destroyed on your opponent's turn, they can choose not to put it in the archive. So but the archive is it's like a stack, a storage place where you can put cards, and you can put them into your hand at the start of your turn, something like that. This one is nice though. It gives a creature your opponent's key cost +2, so that's nice. This one is a very good card. Stun each non-Mars creature. This is a Mars. And gain 2 chains. Chains are like limiters on how many cards you can draw at the end of your turn. Something like that. EMP Blast. So, what's nice about this deck is, if you see this, so normally each card only has an original house and they're supposed to be in that house, but this card is in Untamed instead of Mars, and they have this symbol here. This symbol is a Maverick card. It's called, oh, that's what people call it, I think. So that deck is actually pretty cool. You may blast, stun each Mars creature and robot creatures and destroy every artifact. Pretty cool. Destroy artifacts, very nice. Ready a Mars creature or stun a non-Mars creature. And then John Smith. I think someone calls it John Smythe. I don't know. So this one, elusive, when it's first being attacked, and no damage is dealt to him or the opponent, which is cool. Basically blocks one attack. Oh my god. Is this recording okay? I hope so. You know what? I'll be right back. I'll change the angle up a bit. Alright, there we go. So, yeah, Vital Rape. Already a non-agent Mars creature. So this lets you use another Mars creature again. Basically. This one, elusive as well. Choose an enemy creature and it captures one from its own side. So when an amber is captured on a card and it's defeated, the amber goes to your opponent's side. So basically, it kind of steals an amber. If you can defeat the creature, you get the amber. This one lets you use a friendly non-Mars creature. So when you declare Mars, you can use a non-Mars creature. This one increases the key cost and can capture. Very nice. Tunk. Not the best, but after you play another Mars creature, you fully heal Tunk. So it's okay. As a spider, very good card. Whenever your opponent would gain an amber, it's put on this instead. And they have to defeat this thing to get back their amber. You'll see why this deck isn't as good as the others. But it's good on its own, in a way. Because it has some very cool Sanctum combos and stuff. And can gain amber very, very fast. Compared to these other two. Because of the all the amber cards. Yeah. However, the others, the problem is this thing has lack of board control and amber control as well. So not as good in a way. Zork enters play stunned. Stun, you have to take an action to remove the stun. And before fight, stun the creature Zork fights, and each of that creature's neighbor is a very strong card. Hellblaster healing artifact. I'm not sure how good this is, but it's pretty good in some cases. An upgrade, shoulder armor, gives 2 armor and 2 power. Inspiration, radiant user-friendly creature. So what I'm talking about is this deck has this card that instantly gives 3 amber, and a lot of other amber cards, and especially like Sanctum. And then I can have like a hand of this, something like this. I guess I can show you. It's something like I found very recently. There's also a Glorious View. For each creature your opponent controls in access, you gain 1 amber. So yeah, this deck can actually gain amber really, really fast, like I said. So, yeah, if I have something like this, I can play like this. This one stuns a creature of a certain house. I can choose like Mars and stuns every Mars, so it stops my opponent from making actions. And yeah, so and then I can play like this. This one does nothing, but it gives 3 amber, which is good enough. And I can just play this. When you play a creature, it's exhausted. Basically, it starts exhausted. And these lets me ready and use the friendly creature. So I can ready it, reap, ready and reap again, basically. So it's a pretty cool combo that I found. This one, whenever I play an artifact, which this deck actually has 3, which is okay. It's an average number according to some websites. This one captures 1 on play. Very good. So overall, problem with this deck, lack of creatures for the cards that it has, and the lack of board control. Yeah, even if I want to fight and destroy stuff, this deck doesn't have the cards to do it. Basically, all it can do is stun stuff, and more stun stuff. So yeah, and gain ambers quite fast. The thing is, this card actually is pretty good here because since you have less creatures, you normally wouldn't have as many creatures as your opponent. And that is normally a bad thing from my experience playing this game. I played it online a bit, and with these decks on my own and against my friends. So having less creatures overall is a bad thing. And I'll show you in a bit why this deck just completely wrecked that deck in a bit. But first, I'll show you this Copweight Preacher's Advisor. This deck is cool. It has Logos, which currently is my favorite house because it revolves around drawing cards. Which, if you know, I play Oracle Think Tank. Oracle Think Tank draw cards, and I like that. So this deck is quite balanced. It's balanced in basically every way, I think. But yeah, so it's pretty nice. It has Cooperative Hunting, very, very strong card. Deal a damage for each friendly creature you have, and you may divide this damage among any number of creatures, even on your own, actually. So yeah, so it could be dangerous if your opponent don't have enough like creature on the board and you have too many, but normally it's not a problem. Then there's Save the Pack. Save the Pack is very good with Cooperative Hunting. Destroy each damaged creature and gain 1 chain. Gain 1 chain is not a problem, it just takes a turn. Mimicry, I've shown you, and the EMP Blast. This one, this deck don't have Mars, so it's pretty good for this deck, but it has a few robots, because, yeah, Logos has robots. Lost in the Woods, very good card. Choose 2 friendly creatures and 2 enemy creatures. Shuffle each chosen creature into its own owner's deck. The thing about this card is that you don't have to have 2 creatures, and you can return 2 opponent's creatures, and you gain an amber as well, even if there's no creatures on the board. Inca the Spider, very good card. Poison. On play, stun a creature. The thing you have to be careful is don't play this on its own when your opponent don't have any creatures, because it'll stun itself. Yeah, and on reap it stuns a creature as well. So very, very strong. Hunting Witch, a very good card as well. People, like everyone wants it basically in an Untamed deck, and that deck doesn't. I mean, you don't need it, but it's very strong. It's a very strong card. Each time you play another creature, you gain an amber. Yeah, so like I said, very strong, very, very good. Return a card from your discard pile to your hand. Witch of the Eye, very nice card as well. Murmuk, Suffocator, and Halcor. I quite like Halcor actually. It's a shame this deck doesn't have it, kind of, even though it lacks creature anyway. But this one gives every flank creature. Flank creatures are creatures on the side. Yeah, so positioning for the this game actually matters a bit. It gives flank creatures skirmish, so they can attack without taking damage themselves, which is very nice. Phase shift. Now we're on logos. Play one non-logos creature. Yep. This Lapwork, archive a card. It's from your hand if it's not specified. This one, very fun card. Vault Wormhole, play the top card of your deck. Yep. If it's playable, I guess it'll be playable either way. If it does nothing, it does nothing. So, Twin Bolt of Mission, I have 3 here. Deal 2 damage to a creature and deal 2 to a different creature. You have to resolve this as much as you can. So if your opponent has 1 creature and you have 1 creature, you have to deal 2 to them and 2 to yourself. So be careful. Bat Drone, I have 2. Very good card as well. Skirmish, fight, steal 1. And Quicksow the Adventure, skirmish, fight, draw a card. Now we have action. Action means you don't reap, you don't fight, you just use the action. But you can still use them to reap or fight. So archive a card from your discard pile. And Mother. Mother is a very good card as well. During your draw step, refill your card to 1 additional card. You can look up the rules on that, I guess. And then this has 2, the heal artifact. Spirit's Way, very strong. Destroy each creature with power 3 or higher. So very good. Cleansing Wave, heal 1 damage from each creature and gain 1 amber for each creature healed this way. So you can set up with like cooperative hunting on your own creatures, or even in your opponent's creature, both sides basically, and then use Cleansing Wave and you gain like a bunch of amber from that. But from my experience, this deck has a very difficult time doing that because of all the skirmish cards and all the yeah. So right, I can show you a combo, a little bit of a combo. This has skirmish. This gives skirmish a flank and gives this flank, and this as poison. When it attacks a creature, destroys it basically, unless they have armor. Because if they have armor, you won't deal the 1 damage to them. So yeah. And this one, choose a friendly creature to capture 2. Very good. And then use a friendly non-sanctum creature. So you can use a different house card. You may ready and fight with a neighboring creature. This one allows you to fight with a different house card as well. But this one is on play only, so yeah. Staunch Knight gets +2 power while on the flank. So it'll be 6, basically. 6 and 2 armor. Cyclist, capture 1 on Reap. Pretty good actually. Famous, destroy every elusive creature. Yeah, it's very good for against elusive decks. Champion NFL, these are taunts. Neighboring creatures cannot be attacked unless they have taunt. So it protects your cards. So that's a good thing. That's why this one is not as good, because it has all these very good creatures but no taunt. And especially this, you want to protect this because you don't want your opponent to destroy it. Yeah, so it's a difficult one. But still, this one has a good balance of creatures, of amber gaining, of stun, of destruction, damage, dealing damage and stuff. The problem is it doesn't really have stealing too much. It has like these 2 very nice cards, but low in health, so easily destroyed. And then it has this one to destroy stuff. Right, never mind. This one, capture 2. So, and the last one is this one. Yeah. So all in all, it doesn't have a good to retaliate on what your opponent plan is. But this deck is kind of basically, I think, my best deck. Patry, the Sheriff of Durwald, has Shadows. Shadows is a very sought after house because it has the best steal mechanic, I guess, and then Mars and Logos. This is a very good deck. And it completely destroys the deck. I guess I'll show you. So, first I'll start with this, basically the signature card for Shadows is bait and switch. Man, the focus is very bad. There you go. If your opponent has more amber than you, steal 1 and repeat it. Repeat this until they don't have more than you, basically. So, very strong. Poison Wave, deal 2 to every creature, gain an amber as well. This one, Relentless Whisper, deal 2 and steal if you destroy it. You can even destroy your own creature and you steal 1 from your opponent anyway. Booby Trap, deal 4 to a creature and to a non-flying creature, and splash 2 to the side of that creature. And one last jump, I actually have 2 of this. You probably don't want 2, but it's fine. This deck is strong anyway. The thing is, it eats up a rare spot, which is not nice, in my opinion. But it's fine. This one, purge each friendly shadow. Purge is remove it from the game, so you can't play them anymore. Each shadow creature and steal 1 for each creature purged this way. So this one is a massive steal because this deck actually has quite a few. 6. Yeah, 6 is a good number. So this one, on play, just steal 1. Very good. This one, very difficult to use, but it's quite strong if you can use it. Reap, if you forge a key this turn, take control of an enemy flank creature. And Naughty Thief, it has elusive, action, steal 1. Nice. Skirmish, fight, steal 1. And another fight, steal 1 again. As you can see, a lot of stealing. Shadow Self, this one is like a taunt, but it's not really a taunt, but it deals no damage when fighting, when the opponent attacks it or it attacks the opponent. So normally you just use it to reap and gain amber from it. But damage dealt to non-spectre neighbors is dealt to this instead. So it protects your creature against AoE damage and attacking from the opponent creatures, or when your creature attacks, damage is dealt to this instead as well. So it's like a protection card. Pretty good. However, I've seen some. Alright, sorry about that. My phone decided to run out of space because 10 minutes equals 2 gigabyte. Kinda. But yeah, let's resume. So I was at Shadow Self. I fixed some settings on my phone, so I don't know how much of a difference it'll make, but hopefully it's not too big. So yeah, I think I was gonna say why this deck was so bad for this. I mean, this deck was so bad for this, yeah. So, but before that, I'll go Library of Babel, draw a card. This is unexpectedly good in this deck. I'll show you why. This one, destroy a damaged creature. Very, very good as well. I really like these two. Spectral Tunneler, also a card that gives a creature reap, draw a card basically, and gives an amber as well. It's also an artifact. I have no action for logos, but that's fine. I have Quixo, Adventurer, Ganymede, archive a card on reap, Dexter. People don't like this, but in this deck I think it's fine. because it's basically a skirmish, in my opinion, and a capture one. Because it destroyed, put texture on top, and then I can draw it back with this, and then I play it, basically. So I can attack, deal 3 damage, destroy something with this, and then bring it back, play it on the board. So it's a fun card, in this deck at least. And then Dr. Escotera, gain 1 for each forge key your opponent has. So the maximum number of keys you can have is 3, and you win at 3, so it's actually 2. So you gain 2 for this maximum. So why also why texture is also good is because of all these 3 Doc Bookton I have, which lets me draw a card on Reap. So lots of drawing in this deck, Mother as well. So let's move on to Mars, which is very strong as well. Soft landing, 2 of them. Next creature or artifact you play enters ready, so you can use it automatically. 2 ammonia clouds, deal 3 damage to each creature, very good as well. And hypnotic command, you know, I had so many shadow cards that steals, and this one basically steals more. For each friendly Mars creature, choose an enemy creature to capture 1 from their own side. And you can choose it on the same creature over and over again. So to capture everything on 1 creature, and you just destroyed that creature and you basically stole everything. So it's very nice. And we have Zisix, the Many. I don't know how good this is. Let me see. It's very good actually. Reveal a creature from hand, archive it, and this creature gets +3 power. Megamouth, user-friendly, non-creature. Yeah, I've seen that. Jammer 2. This one has 2. Very good. And then this one has an Ether Spider as well. Now, what's so good about this is that Taunt, I have 2. This one enters stun, and it's 9 health with 1 armor. So I can basically protect my Ether Spider while that other deck cannot do that. And this deck, since it's lacking in board control, I put these out and that deck is dead, basically, because it has no way of consistently getting rid of these. So yeah, I guess one way is using the what's it called? There you go, Mimicry. So yeah, Mimicry, which can copy one of my own actions. So it all depends, but overall this deck is a very strong deck. The best thing is to set up early with drawing cards, and then giving myself a large hand for the later games, and basically make a good comeback. Yeah, this deck is very, very strong. It has a good board control as well, dealing 3 damage. The only thing this deck doesn't have is board wipes. I guess it does have ammonia clouds, which deals 3 to every creature, and then like booby trap somewhat, poison wave somewhat, and then all these contribute to anomaly exploiter, as you can see here. But like this one just destroys stuff very slowly and doesn't really destroy taunt protected creatures, especially if they have armor. Like this one, 2 doesn't do anything to them, and 3, maybe some have more than 3 armor. So it's very dependent on how the decks are. And Ixlix Dominator, a very strong card, 9 attack, very powerful, and protects your own creatures as well. What's good is I have double soft landing, which kind of helps with the stun, so I can basically put them down and remove the stun instantly. Very good. So yeah, this deck overall quite strong, but like fighting on these two fighting, this actually has a fair chance against this deck because of the board weights and stuff. So yeah, and it has like this EMP blast, which this deck is kind of slightly more dependent on my artifacts. So yeah, EMP blast, Lost in the Woods, and then with like Hunting Witch and the stuff, if I don't like do a good control in this deck with this deck will basically overrun this deck on Amber Generation and put a stopper on this deck. So overall, from my testing, this deck has a good chance against this deck because of how fast it is. Well, this deck can control very well on what this deck can do, and this deck just stops this instantly, basically, with a simple little setup. So overall, if we can see what I'm talking about, I don't know. So I got a good set of decks, kinda, which I'm quite happy. I got this deck, which is I think very strong as well. I've been playing it online, winning 50% so far. It is what it is. So if you think you would like something like this, you can go try it out. Just buy one deck and see how it goes. The only problem is, since you can't build your own deck, you might have to buy a lot of decks to find like something you like. I really like this one, but I think I don't know. I do really like this one. I've seen a lot of different decks online, and I've been looking at similar like houses of lists of decks, and they didn't really appeal to me as much as this deck. So yeah. Personally, I wouldn't buy like open decks. I don't know, because if it's really a really good deck, it'll cost a lot, and it's not worth it because a deck of this is only $10 or 15 Canadian dollars basically. So it's cheap to get in. It's what I like, and you get a deck and you just play it. It's the good thing about it. So yeah, I'll also do an update on what I think about the new Oracle Think Tank cards. Yeah, which should be coming out fairly soon. Alright, and these are here because I just wanted to show them off. I still have my very old Vanguard deck. If you see this is an SP. Yeah, these are not standard cards, so I'm very happy that Coco got a standard print, so I'll be talking about that next time. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.